Hey everybody, welcome to the Experience Pros radio show's training on your maximizing um, your membership directory here with the Extreme Customer Service Directory, and we're live streaming this. So bear with me if I look around here, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I'm looking at the folks who are in attendance during the live training. As I was just explaining to the group here in the room. Again, many times we hear from our members and from those who have been in the directory for a long time. We hear that, oh gosh, I didn't realize that I could do this or I could do that, or I didn't know how to do this or that. And so it's our commitment to you that once a month we're going to hold one of these trainings. And then because it's live streamed straight to our YouTube channel, you go back and look at it and see what's going on and maybe learn as well. Last month I taught you how to log in, and I taught you how to change your password. I taught you how to update your entire online profile, and that is available on the YouTube channel. And so you might want to take a look at that. I don't have the exact date, but it's the last Friday, I believe the fourth Friday of last month. So this month, I should say, I would like to talk to you a little bit about the layers of marketing, because it is a misnomer, and we touched on this a little bit in the last class. It is a misnomer. It is a no longer entirely valid, and I'm going to use the word entirely valid, premise that you can track all of your marketing efforts. I'm going to say that again. It is no longer valid that you can track all of your marketing efforts. You see, if you are, now there's some, of course, there's an asterisk on this. If you are a website and you sell widgets on your website, and that's the only place you ever sell widgets, and you don't talk to anybody about what you do, about what the widgets that you sell or anything else, the only way people could ever hear about you ever is on your website, then I stand corrected. There's lots of ways to track that. But if in fact you are like most people who actually talk to people about their business and then hope that those people talk to other people about your business, and you talk to people about their business, and then maybe you sign up for an ad campaign in the Yellow Pages. Do you remember the Yellow Pages?
I do.
Yeah.
They look at me.
Yeah, because I found the oldest guy in the room.
Thank you.
You're welcome for both.
Thank
Yeah. You might. There's so many ways to market today, and we say, we want to. I had a client once who said, "Yeah, but I'm gonna make a new phone number for every single different place, so that when that phone rings, I know where that lead came from." Again, it doesn't work that way. Just that for effect. It doesn't work that way anymore, because here's the truth. You could be driving down the interstate, and you, Joe listener, could be listening to the Experience Pros radio show, and you hear all the commercials throughout the thing, and maybe you hear a commercial for Nyland's Collision Center, the best body shop, 3 years running on the Denver A-list. And by the way, we're going to talk about the Denver A-list today. And you've heard that commercial, and it resonates. You've heard it a couple of times because you listen to the show at the same time every day, and you hear it. But you're not in an accident, God forbid. And then you get home, and your next door neighbor's cousin's son, you find out that they had an accident. And there's something about that says, oh, you know what? I remember an ad that I might have heard on the Experience Pros, and it's for this company. Oh, and then maybe what you do is you go to the Extreme Customer Service Directory and you search Body Shop. Or maybe what you do is you go call KLZ Radio. Or maybe what you do is call Experience Pros. But whatever, you remember it's Nyland's Collision Center. So you tell your next door neighbor to tell his cousin to tell his son about Nyland's Collision Center. So the son gets the information, calls Nyland's Collision Center. Nyland's Collision Center wants to track every detail. Where did this contact come from? Because I'm going to put more money in that and less money in the things that simply don't work. And the kid goes, I know, some friend of my dad. And that's it. You heard about it on the Experience Pros radio show. Can you track it? You can't. And the reason I bring this up is because the layers of marketing are simply that. You can't have an onion without layers. You can't have marketing without layers. It's the way that life is. And honestly, in the internet generation, with social media and your website and all the technology that we have, and don't forget we can text and we can do everything, Google, all of those things. In every one of those things, they are layered upon layered, and here's the truth. If you buy into what Bob Berg says, and we do, that all things being equal, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. If you buy into that truth, then it behooves us to become people that others will know, like, and trust, but it also behooves us to realize that every one of our layered marketing efforts is valuable. And when you do enough of them, here's the truth, it takes 7 to 10 or 7 to 13, they say, repetitions before something goes from short-term to long-term memory, right? If that's true, then how do you get your message out over a consistent pattern? It might be, and take a look at how the big boys do it. Safeway. Safeway has an app. Safeway has television commercials. Safeway has radio commercials. Safeway has a ton of loyal shoppers, right, who tell their friends. Safeway has end cap marketing. Safeway has movie theater marketing. Safeway has so many different elements to it. And if you look at them, the big boys are actually doing the very thing that we're talking about and endorsing. They're putting their marketing message out over all kinds of different layers, okay? The problem comes in when it comes time to pay that bill again for the marketing, and people sit there and say, you know, I didn't get anything from you. Nobody told me that Experience Pros was the one that sent me here. It doesn't work that way anymore. It's all part of the big picture. So let me tell you about your membership with the Extreme Customer Service Directory and why it's so important. Because not only are you getting, and many people call membership in the directory advertising. I do not call it advertising. I do not believe it has anything to do with advertising, except on a cursory, tangential level. And here's what I mean. Advertising expects a return on your investment. Advertising expects a strong call to action. Advertising is brought to you by Mass Mutual. Call now to get your financials done. Right? It's a strong call to action. Look at any advertising on any medium whatsoever. There's always a phone number. There's always a point of contact. There's always a strong call to action and a sense of urgency. Because they just paid, think about it in the Super Bowl, right? In the Super Bowl, they pay $3 million for a 1-minute commercial. You better believe they're going to say, call now, right? You know, and the other side of that is I should be careful with, because I watch the Super Bowl commercials, and I know that there are a lot of ones that don't say call now, because it's Coca-Cola and it's Doritos and it's all those folks that really don't need your strong call to action. What they're doing is reinforcing their brand. When you're thirsty, the Coke wants you to think about them. When you're hungry, it's Taco Bell, right? So, but they've got an established brand. We work with small businesses that their brands are not quite as established as Coca-Cola. That's okay. That's our mission. So I wanted to address the layers of marketing, if you will, for just a moment. The next thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is the 3 I's of leveraging your relationships here in the Extreme Customer Service Directory and the Experience Pros Network. The first I is interests. Okay, When you go to a networking event, you go to, and it doesn't matter whether it's one of our networking events, which we call visibility events, or somebody else's. When you go to one of these things, the first thing you want to do is find, you're meeting strangers, right? So if you're meeting strangers, first thing you want to do is ask them about their interests. What interests them? What motivates them? Why do you get out of bed in the morning and do what you do? Find a point of common interest. We've already established in this room a point of common interest is coffee, and I seem to be the only one with a cup. It's really good. Oh, maybe I'm not the only one. But you find a point of common interest, and when you do that, you can build rapport with that person. Why do you want to build rapport? Because, frankly, you're not there at a networking event. You are not there at a networking event trying to get a transaction. Did you hear me? Networking events aren't for transactions. Networking events are to establish a relationship, to get a relationship started, or to nurture a relationship. Okay? So many people are under the misunderstanding that they're supposed to be making the sale, closing the sale at a networking event. And you know what happens when people believe that they're supposed to close the sale at the networking event? The network drive-by. You know what that is? It sounds like this. And you know what that is? That's their business card. And it lands in your hand. You have no idea how it got there or who gave it to you. And you know where else it lands? In the trash can. It's not about transactions. It's about establishing those common interests. And once you've established those common interests, you can go on to the next I, and that is to make an introduction. Introduce somebody. Again, you're in there in a networking event. You're probably meeting a lot of strangers. Here's a good idea. Why don't you bring somebody who's not a stranger with you? If you're going to the networking event, it probably makes sense to invite somebody who you know that you can actually take by the arm and walk around and think about this for just a minute, because here's what's going to happen. You go, let's just say I got Greg Chasin on my left arm here, all right? And I'm going in and we go into a networking event, and I say, Greg, do you know anybody? He's like, man, I don't know too many people here. And I said, don't worry, I got you, buddy. So here comes Mike Bowler, and I say, Greg, this is my friend Mike, because I know Mike. Greg may not, but I do. I say, this is my friend Mike. He's with Integrated Alliances. You might know that company by their work area of linked to Denver. And oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Absolutely. Mike, this is Greg Chasin. He owns not one but two BizCard Expresses. And I'm telling you, these guys got it all going on in the customer service directory. You two would find great connection because it's small business happening in Denver, and you are both fantastic businessmen. So then what do? They start going on the first I, looking for common interests, right? And I find out that Greg likes to fish. I don't know if he does or not, but no, he hates fishing. I find out that Greg likes the Denver Nuggets. Oh, okay, all right, he does. And so I say, Greg's a big Nuggets fan, and Mike Bowler, he's 6'22". He could certainly play for the Denver Nuggets, except he's old and slow. But there's a common point of interest there, right? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing them together, and they start talking, and we can do this over and over and over again around the room. Now look, there's an old saying that says he or she with the most business card wins. No, he or she with the most business cards has the most business cards, and that's all. And we know what you do with them. You go home with every good intention, and you place them in your business card area of your desk. We know, because you're going to follow up on that, right? No, you don't follow up on them. Most people don't. And so they collect dust. You're not there to get 100 business cards. You're not there to give out 100 business cards, because the same thing's going to happen on the other side. People are going to take your business card and it's going to collect dust. You're there to establish a relationship. You're there to nurture a relationship. You're there to reinforce the reason that we will do business together. That's what you're there for. And finally, you've made an introduction. You've found common interest. And finally, the third I of leveraging your relationship here in this network, the Extreme Customer Service Directory and the Experience Pros Network. Your third reason is simply this. You got to make sure that you have you want to invite people. You want to invite people. Your I is in invitations. Invite people to go to the things where you find value. One of our newer members, Dawn Briggs, is sitting directly across from me, and I don't know anybody who is better at this game right here. If she finds value in something, she not only wants to be there herself, she wants to invite you to be there too. And she lives this point. Why am I taking all this time? You signed up for the Extreme Customer Service Directory. Isn't that a website thing? Why am I hammering all these training points? Well, here's the thing. You didn't just get the directory. You got the network. And we had Jack Loudon from Riviera Finance. If you don't know about Jack, he can. I'm telling you, he can get you finances. He can get you money tomorrow on your outstanding, not delinquent, but your outstanding accounts receivable. If you do business to business, Jack Loudon and Riviera Finance. If you don't know RivieraFinance.com, you don't know Jack. So here's the thing. I had to.
You really love that.
I had to. Jack came in and did a training for my staff today, or Monday, and he said something that resonated with me. He says, I don't know if I ever expect any phone to ring or anything like that from the online directory. Now, we get almost 300,000 hits on our directory every single month. And so when he said, I don't expect necessarily to get a phone call or a lead from the directory, why don't you just stick a stake in my heart, okay? Because we expect you to get some kind of visibility from this, and you are getting visibility from this. I mean, I've got the statistics. I know that you're getting visibility from this. But what Jack was saying resonated with me for this purpose, because I held him to it. I said, wait a minute, I expect you to. And he says, no, it's not that. It's not why I bought into the directory. I bought into the directory for the network. I bought into the directory for the group. Because, and I wrestled with this for a minute, but I think it's absolutely true. We do make you visible. That's our tagline, right? We make you visible. But more than that, we put you in a group of like-minded people who all have the very same purpose. We all ask the same question. What can I do for you today? And when you have that kind of a referral group, there's really nothing you can't do. The referral, the referral process, right now we have about 200 members. By the end of this year, I hope to have about 500 members in the state of Colorado. 500 people. Imagine what could happen with 500 people or 200 people behind you saying, you know, if you're a restaurant and you're open for events, you know, we've got 200 business people, and somebody says, I'm looking for a venue where I can host a ribbon cutting, a celebration, an anniversary, a networking event. Wouldn't you like to be on that list? With 200 people going, oh, I got a place. There's Purple Ginger. How about the Volcano Restaurant? I mean, those are the people on our directory. It's a referral source. It's a huge referral network. Somebody else took that name, referral network. So I'll say it's a referral source because it's true. Now, how do you leverage that thing? Well, I sent out an email, and by the way, if you are not receiving our constant contacts, I need to hear from you to check what's going on, because I send out once a week a constant contact that tells you what's happening this week, what's happening in the weeks ahead to schedule your calendar. By the way, remember we also have a meetup, meetup.com/the Experience Pros. Again, that's meetup.com/experience pros. That's our social calendar. Any member of our directory has the opportunity to put their events on our calendar because we have 500 members, and Meetup is a tremendous, we call it Google food, right? Because Meetup, people will go to Meetup and check what's going on in my town on this day. And I like to say, if you want underwater basket weaving with a blowtorch, there's probably a group for it on Meetup. And if there's not, you should start one. So, you know, find out what we're doing and get involved in that regard. One of the things that I sent out with this constant contact last Monday was the Denver A-list. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this Denver A-list here, because if you have a brick and mortar retail establishment that is among the categories, okay, 3 things you have to consider here. Brick and mortar, retail, among the categories that they call for competition on the denveralist.com. You can check and see if your category is in there and you're a member of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, pretty much welcome to the winner's circle. And here's why I know this. I have been helping, and Angel and I have been helping some of our members run A-list campaigns for the last 5 or 6 years. It used to be called the Denver Channel 7 A-list. Now it's just the Denver A-list. We have massive success in getting people to the winner's circle, if you will. Nyland's Collision Center, I mentioned earlier, 3 years running. It's the only 3 years the category for best auto body shop has been available, and he has not just won it, but he has crushed it every single year. Okay, Brian Hart, many of you know him with Frame d'Art. A Bloom, florist. There's going to be so many I will forget all of them. But last year we had 16 members in the Extreme Customer Service Directory who qualified to compete in the Denver A-list. I want to keep in mind, and I know we were talking to somebody in this room here about this. I don't run the A-list. Whether you can play or not is not up to me. Okay, we have to play by their rules. If you get in, and I'm going to go through our entire network, because last year I had about 50 members on the directory when the A-list came around last year. Okay, now I have 200. So I'm expecting a lot of people to be involved in this competition. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to find them. And usually it goes like this. I call up, this is what happened with Maxine over to Bloom. We're 3 weeks into the A-list competition already, and I said, Maxine, I just noticed there's a category for florists, and you're not on the list. I said, do you want me to get you in? And she said, well, you know, it's 3 weeks in. I don't. There's 600 in my category. I don't have any chance of winning. Really? I put her in. She came in 3rd place. 2nd place, I think. 2nd place. I wrote a blog, and many of you have already read it, that there are no losers in the Denver A-list. Sure, we all want to take 1st place. That's cool. I get it. But here's what this one campaign does. And by the way, if you're a member of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, I do this for you for free. Is I talk about you for the 10 weeks of the entire campaign. Not only internally to our network, but externally to the extended Frank circles, if you will. Your brand is being blasted to tens of thousands of people. And then we get it on the radio, and we blast another many tens of thousands of people for 10 weeks. Why would you not want to be involved? So you get involved, and we sit there and we take you one step at a time. Now here again, and this is the A-list, but if you're in a category that doesn't qualify for the A-list, that's okay. The principle is exactly the same. This is what Angel and I do every single day. is we bring you this 200-member network who, whether you're in a competition or not, people are talking about you, but you have to be involved. You have to sign up, if you will. You have to get involved. You have to play. Go to those events. Meet the people in the network. Know who they are. Actually listen to the radio. I'm shocked at the number of people who are in our membership who never, ever turn in the show. And I'm thinking, if you want to be a part of the show, or you want us to market your business, you've got to be a part of something. You got to involve yourself. This is a natural law. This is not something that I'm making up out of vanity or anything else. If you want a relationship to thrive, you must involve yourself in that relationship. Period. So on the A list, I know that you can actually win this thing with only a couple hundred votes. It only takes a couple hundred votes. Okay. Did I mention how many people we know? Did I mention how many people who, just like you, paid for their membership in the Extreme Customer Service Directory because they wanted their business to thrive? Those same like-minded people who would very much want you to do for them, if you asked, if they asked you for a favor, they would want you to help them. They're going to ask you for a favor. They're going to ask you for a vote. It's one vote per email. I'm not asking anybody to break any rules, but I'm going to send out an email, and I'll send out many emails throughout the 10-week course, and all it is a click on a link, and there's going to be a lot of links, and each one is an individual vote. Now here comes a situation. What if you're involved in the A-list competition and there are more than one people in the Extreme Customer Service Directory who are in your category? Last year we had 3 chiropractors. 3 chiropractors. We ask you to vote your relationship. You're going to gravitate to one or another, right? You can't vote for this one this week and then the next one next week. It changes your vote, and the first one loses if you take your vote away. Okay? So we can't cheat the system, but you vote your relationships. Isn't that what life is all about anyways? You vote the relationship. That's the Denver A-list. Look to hear some more about that from me over the weekend and or early next week. So there's that. Let me check my notes real quick and see what else I needed to teach you. Spot advertising. I want to talk to you about spot advertising real quickly, and then we'll wrap this one up. Spot advertising, we call them triple play mentions. For members in the gold directory, gold level members, they get 3 triple plays in a year. If you got in on our early promotion of the gold directory, you get 1 a month. A triple play mention is at the top, the middle, and the bottom of an hour that says, "This hour brought to you by Mass Mutual Colorado," and then about a 10-second little spot that happens 3 times in an hour. It is truly focused, laser-focused marketing, if you will. It's $99 if it doesn't come with your package. It's just $99 to sign up for that. But the reason I want to talk to you about it is because if you're running an event, it's one of the most effective ways to nail down an event. If there's something that you want people to show up for, we encourage you to do a $99 spot. All right, and it's called a triple play mention. You can ask us about that. You can email me about it at radio@experiencepros.com. I'll give you all the details. I'll write the spot for you. We do everything for you. I mean, you're involved as much as you want to be involved, but I'm happy to take your message and craft it and get your approval, and if you like it, that's what we're going to run with. But it's another thing. It's another layer, an arsenal in your, or a weapon in your arsenal of how you can get the word out if you're doing an event. I will say this: if you're going to do more than about 2 or 3 spots, then sign up for a month's worth of 30 seconds, because again, in our very underpriced advertising process, $99 spots are great and they're fantastic. But if you're going to spend $300 or $400 to get 4 spots across 4 hours, then maybe what you're really going to look for is you could get 30 spots every day of the month and in perpetuity, because the archives record it and it goes with the archives. And that's $495. So it's your choice. I'm not here trying to sell you. I'm trying to let you know that those things, many of our members host events. If you host an event and you want a little extra kick, a little extra boost in your visibility, we can help you, and I encourage you to do that by way of spot advertising. All right? I think that's everything that we're going to cover today. Again, go back to the archives and check out the video from last month about how to log in and how to change your password, how to update, make sure you use your special offers. The more you update it, the more Google likes you. There are some people who will say that using an alias for your website, instead of saying www.experiencepros.com on your directory listing, you should use an alias that says we make you visible. I disagree with that. I think that you spend a lot of money on your domain. Maybe you spend a little money on your domain, but it is who you are and where you are found. And I appreciate the notion behind it, but I would encourage you to keep your domain out there if that's how you tell people to find you. Taglines are one thing, but covering up your domain is a mistake of colossal proportion. Okay? This is Eric. Hopefully that will be helpful to you. We will be back again next week, or not next week, next month, with all new training. Every time we do this, it's a different topic, different element. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, I'd love to hear them. You can just go ahead and comment on in the section below on the video once this has saved. Thanks for listening. Hey, remember, it's Fan Bragging Friday, so if you get a chance, call 855-FAN-BRAG, 855-326-2724. We'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.